Okay, I'm pretty stoked. I literally feel like I just struck a gold mine. You know, Andrea said before that I do have the habit of stopping and asking people questions, what they're going to do with something, whatever. If they're interested in selling something or what have you. Anyway, I stopped at a buddy's house, knew that he had been doing what we're doing, rotational grazing and such, and he sold out, and they actually sold the farm. I noticed that their sign was down and that somebody was doing some dirt work around. So when I stopped in there, I asked him what they're doing with their water tanks. He told me to get a hold of the guy that just bought it, that he don't think they're going to be using it for that, and that he might get rid of them. Lo and behold, I texted him. He said, come get them. I'm jumping in the truck, going to hook up the trailer. We are fixing to load up a bunch of tire tanks with water valves. Oh, I'm so stoked. So let's get busy. Okay, so I've already hauled one load of these off, and y'all may be wondering why in the world am I so excited about a big old tire. Those are water tanks. I thought they broke. Maybe not. Yeah, it is. Let's see if I can get a fitting for that. I was hoping to get out here before they broke any, and I did on the first ones. So what these are is just a tire off of a big tractor. You come in here and you pour concrete in the bottom of it. You got piping coming up through the middle, and that float over there goes in right into that and makes water tanks. Good repurposing. Let's go over here and see if this one's already been moved too. I hope not. Yep. I don't know. We'll see how that works. See what we can get to work. Tires are worth something, but those valves, they're like $50–$75 a piece. Anyway, get some more up. So come to find out, after all of it, there ended up being 9 of these things. And I'm super stoked. I really need 10, but we're so blessed with 9. And here's exactly what they look like. Oh, not that one. One of them we couldn't get the concrete out of. I'll have to beat it out or something. But to give you an idea, so here's the bottom of the tire, and you pour from that lip all the way underneath it, all inside. You fill all that up with concrete, and then that makes a seal around it. The little white pipe right there is a drain pipe, so if you ever needed to empty the tank out and do work on the valve or whatever, you could empty that out. So I'm fixing to set this down and get these things unloaded. So now I feel like I've struck black gold. Maybe not oil, but that right there, those tires, they're money to us. So this is another program that you could get with the NRCS USDA office and get grants for. They reuse tractor tires, they help pay for your water line, they help pay for all the setup and all that. We've chose not to do any of that. When we started, we laid our own water line and paid for all that ourselves. We ended up putting underground valves. If you're new to our channel, we do a rotational grazing here right behind our house, where we move about 150 head of cattle in a circle, and they don't touch the same spot of grass for 30 days after they leave it. And in doing that, we had to fork out all the money to put all the infrastructure in, the hot wire, the water line, and so forth. So one thought I had in my mind while we were doing it was, I'm just going to put underground valves every so often, and we'll move a water trough. I had a skid, I built it, put a water trough, mounted it to it. The only bad part is that's time consuming. You're moving your water trough every time you're moving your cows. You're moving your mineral every time you're moving your cows, so on and so forth. So that just gets more and more time consuming. And with our son, he's our main employee, I guess you'd say, on the cattle. He moves them all the time, moves the water, keeps check on them when they're calving, so on and so forth. But now that he's going to college, and that's pretty much full time, we're struggling to, you know, make sure everything gets done. The cows are moved in a timely manner. So doing this right here is just gonna make life easier. I didn't want to do it in the first place, just because once you set something permanent like that, you're going to destroy the area around it. But there's pros and cons to everything. So I may not use these all of the time. I may, you know, cut the cattle out of the area where they can't get to that water. But as of right now, once we get these in, yes, we will move on, or let the cows on them, drink out of them and whatever. I may end up pouring concrete pads all the way around them. That way just a little less damage right there at the tire. It's just gonna have to kind of wait and see what we get to, when we get to it, and how much money we got. I'll go from there. But I'll give you a good example of what I'm talking about. Even where our water trough is, you know, like right now, how much damage was done just from water kind of leaking out over time. It's going to spill out. They're going to spill it drinking. It's going to drool out of their mouth and what have you. But I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about, how quick they can damage the ground around the water. All right, so right here it is. We had the water trough right there. Last time we had it right there. So it just leaks over time, and that creates a mud hole, and they're just up and down in here. Something been scratching around in there. Weird. Anyway, rabbit trail. So what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to have to shut the whole water system down. Ever so often, we've got these underground quick connect valves. We'll have to come back off of that. I'll probably dig up back here. We'll cut in and put a T, and probably also an underground valve down there, and then I'll tee off to the side and come out somewhere and set the actual tire. We'll set it underneath this wire. That way they can utilize drinking on this side and drinking on that side. So it'll be kind of versatile. The way they really like to do it in their NRCS program is they'll come in here and put 4 corner posts. So you'd put one, say right there, you'd put another one, say over there, another one out there, and then one probably right here behind me somewhere. And that gives you 4 ways. You can put a wire between 3 of the posts, and the cows can come in off the 4th gap. And then when you move the cows, you take this gap down, move it over to here, and they'll all come in from that side, but they can all get around that tire. Eventually I might get to that, I don't know. The only reason I would say no is because I really like wide open. So as you can see behind me, it's wide open. We don't have any cross fences anywhere except right down the middle and on both sides of the field. We always use poly wire on reels, step-in post, or the tumble wheels. That way we can make whatever size paddock we need at that time. When drought conditions were pretty bad, we were making big paddocks. Now the grass is really plentiful. We're trying to make the paddocks smaller, that way they will trample down some more of the weeds while they're eating the grass grazing. So I'm not really set up in my situation for 4-post. At first I want to see how well it works with just the tank underneath the wire, and they can drink from both sides, and then our temporary wire, we can move it to whatever side of that tank we want. So Lane just moved the cows, I don't know, say an hour or so ago while I was out moving those tanks. Take you out here and let you see them. They're grazing right now. Pretty excited. Here several months back, 9-10 months ago, Andrea AI'd most all of our heifers with some registered South Pole semen. This little girl right here, she is a beauty, and she is getting close. So she is a South Pole heifer that is getting close to calving. How do you know that? She's starting to udder up, and her back end's starting to swell out, and look how wide she is. Man, she's pretty. Ain't she, girl? You got a few others, like that one right there. She's not showing signs. It's not good. What about you? Are you? Oh, no. No, you're not either. So after Andrea AI'd them, we gave them a month and a half, something like that, and then we turned Bruce in with them. So it could be a month later some of them, you know, start showing, but if so, that means that they're going to be Bruce's, which that's fine. Man, he's looking good. Look at here. Look at them muscles. You looking good, buddy. He definitely throws some good looking calves, that's for sure. That dude right there is looking pretty. That is our South Pole bull calf out of a commercial South Pole cow. Not her. I don't know where she's at. I don't see her. But it's out of South Pole cow and our South Pole bull Bruce. So of course the installation of those, that's going to be a big project, and that's going to come at a later date. I got to really start thinking about it in my mind, how everything's going to work, what all parts I've got to go buy. Some of the valves, I guess the people got in a hurry flipping some of the tires off and kind of broke the valves on there. So it's got a little bit of work, but we'll get to it, get it all fixed up. I'll probably have to buy an extra 1 or 2 valves, but I mean, all the money I'm saving off of all of this, gonna be well worth it. Probably end up hiring a concrete truck. That way I can come in and pour them all at once. I think the guy my friend of mine that had these, I think when he done them, he would mix up Quikrete bags, pour in them. But that may be a little cheaper, but I'm going for quickness. Time is valuable to me right now. Actually got a few projects to work on. I gotta finish the greenhouse. I gotta run water over to it. I'd like to try to be able to do most of that all at one time. Maybe dig the ditches, get everything ready, shut all the water off, because it's gonna be hooked into the same system. So I'll have to, you know, at least cut in, put a valve in there, and so I can turn it back on to water the cows. We're gonna have heifers calving any day. I think we're through with hay. I told Andrea this morning, and I said, as of now, I plan to be, but you know, if the Lord blesses us with more grass to cut, we're gonna cut it. Right now, we've got a record number of bales for going into the winter. Super blessed there. Oh, I got also got some fencing projects to do on a couple of other fields. We're just trying to keep growing, getting bigger, and keep improving of what we've got. But always looking for a good deal. So I am going to the house. I'm gonna finish up. We're going to do some volunteering today. Y'all have a blessed weekend, day, evening, night, morning, whatever you've got. We'll see y'all on the next one. I'm gonna get off here before I pull out on the highway. Thanks for watching. Love y'all. God bless.
And this is why we're excited about getting these tanks. These water hoses keep just like bulging, you could see, and then they just spray everywhere and we're losing water. And sometimes we come out here, you can see the tank is still full right now, but that's not always the case. Sometimes we come out here in these situations and it's empty, or it blows completely off. And not to mention, if you have bought a pretty quality, and not even sometimes very quality, sometimes a pretty crummy water hose lately, you know they are not cheap. So this is why we're so excited to have scored all these tanks, because we will not have to deal with water hoses. See ya.